My side of it, I was giving Eagles hate all day. Every single weekend, every single Monday, I was giving Eagles hate. All the Eagles fans were, including you and Jay Fish, the microwave of the X Squad, and my man Ralph, who's in the chat room often, were giving me hate, and I was giving out all the hate. I was like, there's no way they can beat Tommy the Great with Nick Foles. So you get to the Super Bowl, the first quarter was weird. It was like 9, I think it was 9-6, or it was some weird score. So I'm thinking like the Super Bowl, the Super Bowl is going to be weird. I don't know how it's going to go, but kind of give me your thoughts as the game's going along, and then and how you felt. I've seen your video, but how you felt when they actually did it.
Oh well, all right. I picked the Eagles to win 24-13. I really thought it'd be a defensive game where both teams would run the ball a lot. And I thought it'd be one of those games that goes by kind of fast because there's going to be a lot more running. Because I thought they'd want to protect both quarterbacks. I thought our D-line against their offensive line would be our major strength, blah, blah, blah. And obviously I was way off because, of course, record-setting yards and passing and all this other stuff in that game. So just watching it unfold, I mean, it didn't take long for me to think, you know what, as long as the Eagles don't, screw up with too many penalties, I really don't think the Patriots can stop them. And I kept waiting on our D-line to sort of turn it on. And they did get to Brady a little bit and get some hits. Of course, didn't get a sack until the strip sack. But, it's unbelievable to think the Patriots did not punt in the game, right?
Right.
If you told me that the Patriots have, 600 yards, they don't punt, and the turnover battle is even, I would have thought, okay, Eagles must have lost, right? Because I imagine them winning, like I said, with defense first. Defensive line dominating is kind of how I imagine them winning the game and taking advantage of, turnovers or good field position. That's what I imagine. But totally different game, and even though Brady had all those yards, a lot of those receivers were wide open, breakdowns in coverage. I still don't know why we weren't pressing their receivers at the line to give the D-line more time, but, that's another story. But, Foles was really fitting that thing in on some tight throws, and he was making some plays. And not to mention the touchdown catch on a play that he actually suggested in that moment. So, the whole thing is just unbelievable. Like, Nick Foles, Super Bowl MVP, this dude was about to retire.
Right.
He was about to give up football just a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And now he's the MVP of the biggest game, probably poised to, if he wants to, go somewhere and be a starter and, make, $20 million or so a year,
Yeah.
It's just crazy how that fast things can turn around in sports.
Yeah, he was almost getting ready to be probably Bill Belichick's financial advisor. I think he was about to go into managing assets or something like that with his brother or something. It is crazy how things spin around. And I'm at the Super Bowl party. I'm watching the game. I'm telling everybody, because everybody looks at me as a sports guy. Most people I know, that a lot of them aren't really sports guys. They're like, who do you think is going to win? I'm like, it's going to be the Patriots. Don't worry about it. Just, watch the game, enjoy the commercials. The game will be over, and then we can all go home probably about halftime, and it'll be over with. As the quarters kept going along, everybody kept looking at me like, you're wrong. And I was like, yeah, okay. I started just backing up into the corner, starting to put the pillow over my face and everything. And then when they actually won, and I heard the interviews of Doug Peterson, Nick Foles, Zach Ertz, and the main thing they said was, I want to give glory to God. That's the first thing out of their mouths. So immediately, I started to have more respect for them. Again, I'm never going to be an Eagles fan, but I got more respect though for the Eagles. So I wanted to.
Right. I mean, we can't all be awesome, but yeah, I got you.
But but it was, you think of the underdog mentality, and I've seen a story also, I think yesterday or today, that was talking about how they took that underdog mentality. You know, I don't know if they prayed like as a whole team, but they had a bond that nothing could break, not even the Patriots, which is difficult because sometimes the Patriots have themselves and the refs and all that, but that's a whole other story.
Well, good point.
A whole other story for a whole another podcast. But Brandon Graham with the strip sack. So at the end of the game, I'm thinking Tom Brady's going to have the ball, and Tom Brady, this is his spot. This is what he does, and he basically farted around, fumbled the ball. He didn't look like himself. He really looked his age for the first time I've ever seen him. And now you got Josh McDaniels that came out this week saying he was going to go to the Colts. Now he's coming back. So there's so much going on with the Patriots. But I really wanted to get you on to congratulate the Eagles. Are you going to the parade? When are you going to be in Philly? Because I know you're going.
Well, my wife is actually on a plane right now headed to Philly to go to the parade. I will not make it to the parade. I got to stay back with the kids. I'm going to be there this weekend. Of course, the parade will be over with by then. But I'm going this weekend, see some family. We can all, celebrate together, finally happening. And, just hang out with some old friends, things like that. And, just soak in the moment one more time, before moving on and getting ready for next year when we do it with a different quarterback.
Yeah. So going into next year, obviously Carson Wentz is going to be the starter. Real quick, do you see anybody leaving from this team? Because it looks like, you got a lot of these guys are young. You already re-signed Fletcher Cox. I don't know what type of contract Brandon Graham has. Alshon Jeffries, I think he got an extension. So you're almost set. And then you got Darren Sproles and Jason Peters, I believe was his name, coming back left tackle. So what do you see for next season?
Well, I know we're up against the cap. I doubt Blunt will be back. I think he signed a 1-year deal, unless he's willing to take, a small number. But with Clement playing so well, they got a Jai. There's actually a couple other running backs that they've put draft picks in over the last couple of years. I'm sure they'll probably want to see what they have with those guys. But I wouldn't be surprised if Blunt moves on. Long signed a 1-year deal, so I'd be interested to see what happens with him. I'd like to see him come back, and of course, a ton of respect for him, not only what he's doing on the field, back-to-back Super Bowl champion, but I'm sure you all know the story about him donating the game checks and just what he's trying to do in the social justice realm and trying to lift up communities that don't have as much access, and trying to use his platform and funds, personal funds to do that. So obviously can always have to respect somebody like that, right? And love to have him part of the team. And I think somebody like that also just from a leadership end, is always great to have. Not to mention the fact that he's still out there making plays. I wouldn't be surprised if Foles moves on. Because, as a pro athlete, you only got so many years to really cash in, right? So I would think that the organization would want to do the right thing by him if he wants to move on and try to find a place to trade him, and he signs like a 2 or 3 year extension, at more of a starter salary, as opposed to, I think he makes like $5 or $6 million a year with the Eagles, which isn't bad for backup, but obviously you make a lot more as a starter, and I'm sure he wants to play, right? So it wouldn't shock me if he moves on. And then obviously we have some defensive backs. We probably should move on from that last game.
Yeah.
That's another story. So, but But you're right. The core of the team is still signed and pretty young. I think I saw somewhere like almost 20. I think they got like 18 starters still in the contract for the next 2 years, and they're all under 27 or something like that. So
yeah, young man.
Yeah,
that's where you want to be when you're trying to make years of a run, and if you want to start having a dynasty now. So, but I definitely wanted to get you on to get your thoughts, opinions on the season, on the game. Once again, Eric Dewalt of the Cane and Ice Show. Talk about your show with you and Cane, and where everybody can find it and follow you guys.
All right. Well, easiest thing to do is just go to CANEICE, caneice.com. All right, and that's going to take you directly to our YouTube channel. Hit subscribe. Check out some videos. Give thumbs up. You'll see some of Ben on there. We have other guests. You know Ben. You know how we do it. We get a little crazy sometimes. We have Elsa, my daughter, come on and sing, and all kind of little weird antics we do sometimes. So definitely entertaining show. We try to keep things light and not act like experts. Not talk at you. Try to talk with you. We love memes. Love pulling up weird random stories from Twitter or, the internet, that kind of thing. So check it out. Like I said, just go to caneice.com. Also, you can follow us on Twitter, Cane_Ice. And you can hit us up on Facebook, the Cane and Ice Show. And real quick, shout out to you. So you got a couple Eagle fans who are always on the message board, so shout out to them. And we're asking all Eagle fans to send us your reaction videos to winning the Super Bowl, right? So either reaction video or rant about winning the Super Bowl. We're going to put all those together and make a fun video out of it. So send that to us on Twitter or YouTube or Facebook, and we'll put all that together and make a big community celebration video out of it. So I'm sure Ben will be watching that video over and over.
Absolutely not.
In between watching his VHS videos of the 1990s Cowboys, while he looked for his Alvin Harper jersey, And real quick, I got a call. Everybody's calling out Tom Brady for not shaking Nick Foles' hand, but I'm gonna give Tom a pass, because Nick's hand was way too hot to be shaken at that point in time. That's right, baby. Hey, I knew Brady was beat when he threw that pass, and he lost the ball, and he was just sitting on the field. I don't know if you remember that, toward the end of the game after he lost the ball, and he was just sitting on the field, like just flat on his ass, just like, man, this ain't supposed to happen to me. Or, where's the flag or something? I was like, yeah, they beat. Look at it. Look at their body language.
Right. And
we got these jokers.
The other thing is, he was looking down on the sideline. It looked like the majority of the game, and it doesn't look like he was looking at a tablet. We seen basically a defeated Tom Brady for probably the first time. A lot of people have seen him that way. But he's not going to bow out. He's coming back next year. He's probably going to stick around until he somehow, some way wins another Super Bowl, because you can't go out like this. I don't think he'll do it.
Well, I'll tell you all that. You're welcome, America, because I know this is what most of y'all wanted to see. Except Cowboy fans and people in New England.
Right, exactly.
But I think we put putting that first stake through the heart to end this dynasty. All right. They already kicked the doctor off campus, so no more HGH. Sorry, Tom. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. It's not proven yet. It feels good. I was actually watching the game at a Patriots fan's house, and so I kept hearing Tommy Boy, Tommy Boy, Tommy Boy. So that's why in my reaction video, you probably hear me say Tom Brady is dead now, because I just got so tired of hearing about Tommy Boy.
Well, I didn't hear that part, but I'm gonna have to go back and listen closely.